Imagine this: a young woman leaves her home, full of dreams and ambition, ready to build her future, but she never makes it to her destination. Days later, her family receives a chilling message from her phone, a ransom demand. They hoped that paying it will bring her home, but no amount of money could save her. What went so wrong? How did someone so familiar, a childhood friend and fellow church member, become Christianah's worst nightmare? Stick with us as we dive into Christianah Idowu's tragic story. Christianah Idowu was born on 28th of June 2003. Her mother, a widow, worked tirelessly to ensure her daughter had a shot at a bright future. Life wasn't easy, but Christianah's mother made sacrifices to put her through school. She admired her mother's resilience and wanted to make her proud. Christianah was a 300-level student of pure and applied botany at Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, FUNAB, and was currently doing her industrial training at the University of Lagos, that's UNILAG. Christianah loved fashion. Modeling was Christianah's escape. Her love for it went beyond just dressing up. It was her way of expressing herself. She dreamed of gracing the runways and becoming a renowned fashion model. Her Instagram page reflected her aspirations. She participated in photo shoots and was building her portfolio. One of her recent goals was to enter the GTCO Fashion Week contest, where she could showcase her talent and passion. Modeling wasn't just a hobby for Christianah. It was her passion, her escape, and her future. On the morning of August 19, 2024, Christianah left her home in Ita-Oluo, Ikorodu, that's in Lagos. It was a typical Monday for the 21-year-old. She would attend her industrial training at UNILAG on weekdays and return home for the weekend. But this time, Christianah wouldn't even make it to her destination. What should have been a simple trip became the beginning of a tragic story that would shake her family and the entire country. On that fateful day on her way, it started to rain, so Christianah sought shelter at a familiar place, the family shop of a childhood friend and a fellow church member, Ayomide a 23-year-old philosophy student at Olabisi Onabanjo University, that's OOU. Christianah and Ayomide weren't strangers. They had grown up together, attended the same school, and went to the same church. She had no reason to suspect that stopping by his shop would lead to anything but safety. Yet, this would be her last stop. Under the guise of friendship, Ayomide invited her into his house as the rain intensified. Inside those walls, Christianah's fate was sealed. What should have been a brief pause to avoid rain quickly turned into a horrific trap. Once they were alone, Ayomide made sexual advances towards her, but Christianah, shocked and horrified, rejected him. They were friends, childhood friends no less, but her refusal enraged him, and he brutally attacked and killed her right there in his room. The horror didn't stop there. Ayomide used Christianah's phone to text her mother later that night, posing as a kidnapper from northern Nigeria named Musa Ahmed. The message he sent on WhatsApp at about 8:50 p.m. read, "Hello madam, you have such a beautiful daughter. How much are you willing to pay to see her again?" He sent this message along with 2 pictures using the View Once feature on WhatsApp, showing him holding Christianah's head up, though she was already dead. To anyone else, she might have appeared drugged, and her mother clung to the hope that she was still alive. Ayomide wasn't just hiding his crime, he was staging an elaborate ruse. For the next 2 weeks, it was a game of demands and negotiations with Christianah's distraught mother. He initially demanded 3 million naira, but later agreed to accept 400,000. He threatened to sell Christianah's organs if the ransom wasn't paid, claiming that the organ harvesters would pay him about 1.5 million for a healthy body. Throughout this time, Ayomide portrayed himself as a heartless criminal, telling Christianah's mother that he had nothing to lose. He even suggested that she involve her daughter's friends to help raise the ransom. Meanwhile, he was pretending to be a concerned friend, messaging the same mutual friends and expressing worry over her disappearance. His calm and collected behavior gave no hint of the monster lurking inside. Desperate and terrified, Christianah's mother managed to gather 350,000 naira, hoping it would be enough to bring her daughter back home. They sent the money to a Sportybet account at Ayomide's instruction on the 21st of August, unaware that by then Christianah was already gone. The truth began to unravel when Christianah's phone was traced. Investigators followed the trail of transactions linked to the ransom money, which led them straight to Ayomide. His bank details and bank verification number connected him to the funds he had extorted from Christianah's grieving mother. With this crucial evidence in hand, security agencies, including the Nigerian army, tracked his movements. His phone, which he had been using frequently, betrayed his location. Eventually, it led them to his parents' home in Ikorodu. On September 1st, the Nigerian army arrested Ayomide at his residence, bringing an end to his web of lies and deceit. When authorities arrived, they found clear evidence linking him to the crime, including Christianah's smartphone and records of the money transfers. At first, Ayomide denied involvement, as usual, claiming that he had received the phone for repairs. But when the evidence became overwhelming, he finally confessed to the crime on the 3rd of September 2024. He admitted to everything: the kidnapping, the assault, and the murder. And then, as if it were the most natural thing in the world, he revealed that he had buried Christianah's body in his parents' compound. Ayomide's arrest only opened up more questions. Rumors began to spread about his past, about a supposed girlfriend he allegedly killed in 2018 and his own biological sister, who died under suspicious circumstances in 2020. These are just rumors. It has not been confirmed. But if that's the case, was Christianah the latest victim of a serial killer who had managed to evade justice for years? Was he acting alone, or were there others involved? Could there be a network of people hiding in plain sight, capable of same evil that we don't know of? Then there's his family. How about his parents? Is it possible they didn't know what their son was up to, right under their noses? Some believe that Ayomide had accomplices, friends who helped him carry out these horrific acts. The investigation continues, but one thing is clear: Ayomide's days of hiding behind an innocent facade are over. The case has now been handed over to the Lagos Police Command for further investigation. Now let me tell you what I think about this case. Honestly, I wanted to give this guy the benefits of doubt. I wanted to assume maybe her death was a mistake. After all, mistakes happen, right? Panic should set in for someone who has never done this before. Fear and all. But looking at the aftermath of her death, what he did just takes it to a new level of psychopathy. He decided to use her death to get money again from her poor widowed mother. No panic, no remorse, just cold and calculated evil. This wasn't an accident or a crime of passion. This was premeditated, deliberate, and deeply disturbing. Think about this for a second. After murdering her, this guy just casually went about his life, even posting on social media as if nothing had happened. What kind of person does that? He was even chatting with her friends, expressing concern for her whereabouts. The manipulation, this cruel manipulation, just added another layer to his deception as he tried to appear innocent and concerned. Honestly, at this point in our lives, it's becoming harder and harder to trust even the people closest to us. How do you know what your friend, your neighbor, or even a family member harbors deep inside of them? Is it possible that we ignore red flags in the name of love, loyalty, or simply not wanting to believe the worst? I have to ask this because just looking at this guy's social media handle, you will see a history of him sharing disturbing content, strange motivational quotes, unsettling posts, things that seemed harmless at the time, but in hindsight painted a picture of a deeply troubled individual. I was reading some comments on his page. Someone actually said his username could stand for serial killer for short, and it actually makes sense because I see no correlation with his real name. So was this guy literally hiding in plain sight? I'm just thinking out loud, but tell me what you think in the comments. Is this case really getting to you as it's doing me? Please let me know I'm not overreacting here. Seriously, how many times have we brushed off someone's odd behavior as nothing? Christianah's story is truly heartbreaking. The dangers women face daily: kidnapping, sexual assault, murder. These aren't rare occurrences, and they are often committed by people known to the victims. Why should women have to live in fear of the very people who are supposed to protect and respect them? But beyond that, we need to start having real conversations about how toxic behavior, violence, and the way some men misuse their power to allow these atrocities to continue. I mean, just last month, a trainee doctor in an Indian college, Momita Debnath, was to death in her own college. It's honestly unfair. We must ask ourselves, how do we protect the vulnerable? How do we ensure that justice is served, not just for Christianah, but for all the victims of senseless violence? Christianah Idowu's life was stolen, but her story will live on. We can only hope that her family finds some measure of peace. To every woman watching this, stay vigilant, trust your instinct, and don't be afraid to speak out. And to everyone else, protect the women in your life, challenge harmful behaviors, and stand up for justice. Be aware of your surroundings and never be afraid to speak out when something feels wrong. We must all look out for each other and hold those who do harm accountable. May Christianah's soul rest in peace. She surely deserved better than this. So that's it for today's case, guys. As always, thanks for always tuning in. Stay safe, stay aware, and take care of each other. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.